Let's get one thing straight. A woman doesn't fall in love with your words, your money, or your muscles. She falls in love with how your energy makes her feel, not your gifts, not your status, but the magnetic force you radiate when you're fully present with her, emotionally, mentally, and physically. The tragedy is most men have no idea what that means. They think love is about effort. But the truth, women crave connection, not commitment. They crave energy, not emotion. And if you don't understand this, she'll drift away even if she still says she loves you. When a woman says she wants connection, she's not talking about endless conversations or late night texts. She's talking about feeling you, feeling your calm, your confidence, your groundedness. Science calls it emotional synchronization, the way two nervous systems mirror each other during intimacy. When you're anxious, she feels that. When you're centered, she relaxes. When you're lost in your head, she disconnects. But when your energy is focused, when your attention is fully on her, she feels something ancient, safety mixed with desire. This isn't about dominance, it's about presence. True masculine energy is silent power, a steady heartbeat that anchors her emotions. It tells her subconscious, you're safe to let go. And when she feels that, her feminine energy awakens, not because of your words, but because your energy speaks louder than anything you could ever say. That's why she doesn't want your heart first. She wants your energy, your aliveness, your depth. Because when your energy penetrates the moment, she feels seen, desired, and alive. And that's what every woman is truly searching for, not a man who loves her, but a man whose energy makes her feel like herself again. Let's destroy a lie that most men still believe. Women don't fall for the nice guy, they fall for the present man, the man who doesn't rush, the man who doesn't flinch, the man who can hold eye contact without needing validation. That stillness, that subtle authority, that's what dominance truly is. Not aggression, not control. It's the quiet command of a man who knows his value without needing to prove it. Presence is power. Because when you're fully present with a woman, your energy tells her nervous system, you can relax, I'm here. And when she feels that, her walls start to melt, her defenses fall away, her body, her mind, her emotions all begin to align with yours. That's not manipulation, that's biology. Human beings are wired to synchronize emotionally. Her brain is constantly scanning for safety, for strength, for emotional leadership. If you're distracted, needy, or unsure, she feels it instantly, even if you say all the right words. But when you embody calm dominance, something magnetic happens. She feels the pull, that invisible force that makes her breathe deeper, stand closer, and open up without knowing why. You see, dominance isn't about taking control. It's about holding space. It's about being the calm in her emotional storm, not another wave crashing into her. This is what most men miss. They try to impress her with attention, gifts, or charm, but she's not measuring your worth by what you do. She's feeling your energy, your tone, your presence. When you walk into a room and your energy says, I know who I am, she feels it in her body before you even speak. That's masculine presence. That's true power. And that's what she's subconsciously craving, not your affection, but your grounded, unshakable energy that tells her she's safe to feel. Here's the brutal truth. Attraction dies when polarity dies. Most men think they can love a woman into desire, but you can't. You can't validate her into passion. You can't compliment her into craving you, because attraction isn't built on comfort. It's built on contrast. Masculine and feminine energy are like magnets. They need opposite charges to create spark. When you start acting too soft, too available, too eager to please, you unconsciously blur that polarity. You move from being a man she feels into being a man she simply likes. And once she only likes you, her fire begins to fade. Emotional polarity is psychological electricity. It's the tension between your groundedness and her emotional flow. She's expressive, fluid, unpredictable, and that's her power. You, as the man, bring direction, focus, and certainty. That's your power. The more you try to match her emotions, to soothe every storm, to constantly seek approval, the more she subconsciously starts to lead. And when she's leading, attraction collapses. Women don't crave perfection. They crave energy balance. They crave a man who can meet their passion with grounded strength. A man who doesn't flinch when she tests his edge, because she will. Those tests aren't disrespect, they're nature's way of asking, can you handle my fire? And when you hold your center, when you stay calm but present, when you don't shrink or chase, she feels polarity reignite in her body. Psychologically, it's the dance between dopamine and safety, excitement and trust. Emotionally, it's the feeling of being claimed without being controlled. She wants to surrender into your strength, not because you demand it, but because your energy makes her want to. That's the truth no one tells men. Affection can make her feel loved, but polarity makes her feel alive. And it's that aliveness that keeps her wanting you again and again. Here's what most men never realize: a woman's emotions don't just respond to you, they reflect you. She's an emotional mirror, whether she knows it or not. When you're confident, she relaxes. When you're uncertain, she withdraws. When you're grounded and sure of yourself, her femininity blossoms. But when you lose your center, when your mood, focus, or purpose wavers, she feels that instability deep in her body. This isn't some mystical idea. It's pure psychology and biology. Research on emotional attunement shows that women, on average, possess higher mirror neuron activity than men. That means they unconsciously absorb the emotional states of those they're connected to. She doesn't respond to your logic. She responds to your energy frequency. If you're radiating stress, self-doubt, or confusion, she'll start to pull back, not out of rejection, but because her nervous system no longer feels safe in your presence. You can't fake energy. You can fake confidence for a few minutes, fake charm for a night, but your vibration, your state, never lies. When you walk in as a man who's internally grounded, she senses it instantly. She might not even know why she suddenly feels lighter, more playful, or more feminine around you, but that's the mirror effect in action. You're giving her permission through your energy to be who she truly is. Every woman wants to feel emotionally safe enough to be expressive, soft, and alive, but she can only go as deep as you are grounded. The moment you start chasing her emotions, trying to fix or control them, you lose the polarity. But when you stay steady, calm, aware, and present, her heart begins to mirror that steadiness. And that's when her desire reignites. There's a kind of man every woman remembers, not because of how he looked, but because of how he felt. His presence carried something rarer, a calm intensity. He didn't rush. He didn't chase. He didn't need to prove his worth. He simply was. And in that still, grounded confidence, she felt something ancient, the urge to open to trust, to surrender emotionally into his energy. Calm intensity is the balance between strength and softness. It's the power of controlled fire. It's not about being loud, aggressive, or dominant. It's about having depth that she can feel. When you speak with conviction. When you touch, you do it with awareness. When you lead, you do it with certainty, not ego. That's what ignites the feminine heart, because true feminine energy doesn't respond to noise. It responds to presence with power. From a psychological lens, calm intensity activates a deep emotional safety mechanism in the female mind. Her body relaxes when she senses unwavering masculine certainty, not control, but grounded direction. She feels safe to express, to feel, to be fully herself. And in that safety, her natural sensuality awakens. Every woman has that side, wild, expressive, alive, but she won't reveal it to every man. She reveals it only to the one who can handle her, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. The one who doesn't get shaken by her storms, who doesn't retreat when she tests his strength, the one whose calm intensity tells her, without words, you are safe to be everything you are. That's the man she craves. The man who doesn't just want her body or her heart, but her energy. The man who can meet her passion without being consumed by it. Because when she feels your fire wrapped in stillness, that's when she finally lets go, not because she has to, but because she wants to. I've coached countless men, and I've lived this truth as a woman. Let me tell you something. Women can feel your energy long before you ever touch them. You think she's reacting to your looks or your words, but she's not. She's reacting to what your energy says when you walk into the room. If your energy says, I'm uncertain, I need your approval, she feels it. But if your energy says, I know who I am, and I don't need to chase what's already meant for me, she melts. As a woman, I can tell you, we don't crave perfection. We crave presence. We crave a man who looks at us and makes the world go quiet for a second. A man who doesn't rush to impress or over-explain. A man whose silence feels stronger than another man's loud confidence. Because that silence, that grounded energy says, I'm not here to prove myself. I'm here to connect. And as a coach, I've watched men transform their relationships the moment they stopped chasing affection and started mastering energy. When they stopped trying to be nice and started being authentic. When they stopped trying to please women and started learning how to lead with calm strength. That's when everything changed. Women started responding differently. Conversations got deeper. Intimacy became natural. So hear this as both truth and challenge. She doesn't need you to be perfect. She needs you to be present, to know your worth, to own your masculine energy, and to meet her not from fear, but from power. When you do that, she won't just love you, she'll feel you. And once a woman truly feels your energy, she'll never forget you. Be that man, the man whose presence speaks louder than words, whose energy commands attention, and whose calm intensity makes her feel safe enough to be fully herself. That's the man every woman dreams of, and the man you were always meant to become.